Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bull Moose Bubba here on the morning of July 13th, 2020. We are sitting in for Paul Harvey today. Stand by for commentary. Well, Americans, if Mr. Paul Harvey were alive today, he would want to do a commentary on this subject, the U.S. presidency. Eulogy to the U.S. presidency. So here it goes. And I hope I do him justice. Well, Americans, I'm glad Mr. Paul Harvey is not here. I would have to do this eulogy for him to the U.S. presidency. The last 44 years, 1976 to 2020, the demise of the U.S. presidency. It all started with Richard Nixon, who put a dent in the coffin of the U.S. presidency. There was a lot of scratches before presidents before them, like Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, Millard Fillmore for the Compromise of 1850, and Theodore Roosevelt for the Big Stick policy. There was always a scratch. So the U.S. presidency had scratches, but they never had a big dent like what Richard Nixon put in there. Gerald Ford, he tried to seal the dent, but they didn't have flex shot in those days. Sorry, President Ford, if you're up there with Mr. Paul Harvey up there, and you're listening to this, I have to apologize because they didn't have flex shield or flex shot when you were around, and you could have sure used it to seal this big dent that Richard Nixon put on there. And from 1976 till now, you've had lousy presidents, starting with Jimmy Who, and the press has hounded the presidency more than it should. The presidency had something going for it, a cachet, which no longer exists. President Trump makes sure of that. But it's been disappearing little by little, starting with Jimmy Who. Because during his presidency, 77 to 81, well, you had the Camp David Peace Accord, which was a glowing thing, something good. Not that good, but good. But you had bad things. You gave away the Panama Canal, yeah, which a lot of people still hate you for, President Carter. And you had the hostage crisis, and Iran fell down during your administration, became Muslim and an Islamic republic, and it still haunts America today. Your successor, Ronald Reagan, with his trickle-down economics, sure put this country in a bad shape, didn't he? Oh, man, he sure did. And don't forget Mr. George H.W. Bush. He was an okay guy, but read my lips, no new taxes. And a lot of disastrous things that happened during his administration. The invasion of Panama in 1989, and the first Gulf War. Cost a lot of things, led to 9/11. Oh yeah, all kinds of bad things. Law of unintended consequences, President Bush, wherever you are. I know you're there with Mr. Paul Harvey and President Ford, but unfortunately that's what happened. But then came the really bad presidents. I mean, really bad. President Clinton, 8 years of disaster. What did you have there? Well, you had the Kosovo incidents. Then you have Somalia breaking down. Yeah. Black Hawk Down. Oh, yeah, all those things, huh? And the peace accords that you tried to do, President Clinton, and it backfired on you. Oh, yeah, don't forget the health care. Yoo-hoo, health care. Yeah. Predecessor to Obamacare. Oh, boy, that was a disaster, wasn't it? And your wife, Hillary. Oh boy. Yeah. If we know now what we know now, then what we know now, whoo, that would have been fun. Anyway, but then came George W. Bush, and he had an agenda, big time. My father didn't kill Saddam Hussein, so I got to go back and do it, and he orchestrated the war. There's no way the United States intelligence services could be that stupid and that bad. Oh, we have detected weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Yeah, really? And there wasn't any, and you killed a bunch of people for it? Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Oh, and by the way, 9/11, yoo-hoo! Yeah. Yeah. See what I mean? But yours was still not the worst one. The two worst ones came after you. Obamacare, 8 years of Obama. Oh boy. Yeah. And the more disastrous, 4 years of Trump. And this is Democrats and Republican people. And here you are, you got to vote for a Democrat and Republican. And they're both awful. So this is what I'm saying. If I were Mr. Paul Harvey, I would be doing this eulogy. So much for the presidency. Is it repairable? I don't think so. So sitting in for Paul Harvey today, this is your favorite alien and Boom Moose Bubba saying, vote for Kasich and Gabbard to restore the Union team. Good day.